Hi Geminis, and welcome to your May 2023 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're thriving. I hope you're winning in life because you have quite a finality coming in the month of May, getting ready for a lot of new changes. So let's talk about you as usual, Gemini, with intuitive messages, a week-to-week tarot forecast, and an extended reading linked below on Patreon. Okay, so yes, as you guys know, when I do these readings, I sometimes will do like at the max 3 a day, but that's if I'm having to like push pretty hard. I like to only do like 1 a day or sometimes 2 a day, and I'll usually do them later in the day. So I will kind of let the day that I have and the experiences that I have kind of tell me a little bit about what's going on for the sign that I'm reading for. And for me today, things have felt really good. They've felt really stable. They've felt really quite lacking in problems. But there's something that just doesn't quite hit the mark, okay? And I was feeling that this was something that was coming through for both the signs Gemini and Cancer, that you have like done such a good job of like putting things together with your own two hands and sort of creating this like reality that is safe and beautiful and well done. But perhaps there's been something that's been like over forged or over curated to the degree that it's like maybe blocking out certain motions or gestures either from other people or from the universe. And it's kind of a hard feeling to describe, but it's like, I suppose what I can correlate it to is like still having yourself or still having your own mind or your own mindsets, regardless of how either prosperous or lacking in prosperity the material situation feels. So we're moving into a month where we have this major 6 Taurus stellium, which I talked about in the comprehensive astrology video that I'll link below. And it's going to like really give a consolidated like material reality to a lot of us. And it's going to give us, for some people, if you're doing well, like exactly what you've wanted, or you're going to see that what you've been working for such a long time comes to fruition. With that, though, also comes a major test of how well the person inside is. So, you know, you have the Hanged Man, the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. The way that we feel alongside or along with all of these external growth spectrums comes up in May. And I don't feel that you have anything hard. Don't get freaked out by the Ten of Swords imagery or the Five of Pentacles imagery, the Two of Swords. It feels like a subtle edge, and it feels like maybe through that subtle edge you are wanting to like change a lot, or you're wanting to like face anything that hasn't been properly wrapped up or accounted for yet. So I'm definitely seeing some Geminis like having to renovate the house or having to like also caretake for another person, like having to like help out family members. I am feeling this twinge that I'm feeling as well. It might not even be about you at all. It could actually just be about your empathy for others, or about like knowing that someone else is struggling and like you're maybe in a much better situation, but nonetheless you feel for them, or maybe they're even like expecting you to help them out, or you're having to like come in and feel like you have to save someone else. And maybe it feels like really necessary, or it's even like for some of you, maybe it's like a parent who needs help or a child that needs help, like very familial. Okay, so it's not just like that one like person who always like mooches off of me, or that like friend or that ex or something. This feels like a deeper tie, and you might have to like be kind of going the extra mile, not just for yourself, but for people who are really important to you in your life. And it's something that I would definitely place a deadline onto, like for this amount of time I will help someone else, or for this amount of time I will allocate some of my resources to someone in need, or for this amount of time I'm going to like be that helping hand. But definitely don't let yourself become this for everybody forever. Okay, that's an interesting few words. For everybody forever. For everybody forever. Okay, that's coming through. Who you are to a group of people, the reputation, the also perhaps position of service that you might be in for your family. as maybe like a leader of the family, or as someone who cleans up after other people or bails other people out of jail, that type of thing. I feel coming up for Gemini, interestingly. It's not like you usually see Gemini on the other side of this, like not to be funny, but it is funny, like Gemini being the one bailed out of jail instead of bailing out. But like really the tables have turned, and I feel that you guys are the ones that people are looking to in any symbolic way, basically bail them out right now. So that's what these cards definitely say to me, is like having to basically and this is actually like the death archetype in tarot, right? Like cleaning up other people's messes, or being that agent of change, being that person who, with your bank account, you're deciding whether someone's like in or out of jail or something. Like there's something like that, some type of power like that here, which is strange for your sign. And I think that it must have something to do maybe with Saturn changing from Aquarius to Pisces and getting like that square going on or something. There's like, again, like a 90-degree angle, like a major like shift. But it's almost more polarized than that. I'm thinking like, what's in Sagittarius? Nothing really. I don't know. It's just an intuitive message. But you're kind of like experiencing a polar opposite authority construct in your life. And maybe it's not like actually manifesting in such a real way, but people might be like vesting you with that power. Like this person holds the key of whether I am like free or not, or whether I'm like confined or not, or whether I feel a sense of well-being, which feels very codependent to me. And you might actually start breaking that. So even by like June, maybe it's done and you're like, this is on my terms now, or I'm not going to be the one to do it. Or maybe you're like, I don't know, really being seen as like a leader of the family type of person as well. I don't really like this. The World is your only major arcana card, which is saying that something needs to end. So I'm thinking that this is not really like who you're meant to be, or this is not really like it for you, as I'm feeling like there's more of a youthful energy, or there's more of like, I don't know, you know how people get when they're like in their early 20s, like that 20 to 24 age range where people are like, kind of flying by the seat of their pants, like they have that authority and that freedom, but they're also like not as confined. I feel like that to be more where Gemini needs to be right now, rather than being this like sort of like super Saturnian figure. So I would try to find a way that by like later in June, okay, like not long, okay, do you want to like maintain these certain constructs? And for those of you that this message is for, you'll know it. If it doesn't resonate, definitely check out your Sun, Moon, Rising sign. But let's talk briefly about your week to week in May. Okay, week number 1, the 9 of Wands rooted down by the 2 of Swords. Okay, I don't like it. It's too hard. It's too unwieldy. Like you guys have maybe been needing to make things more reduced and more like aerodynamic. Okay, you're a mutable air sign. Okay, this is very like, again, Saturnian energy. How can it be easier? How can it be more optimized? Whether this is a job, whether this is a workflow in your life, whether this is your expectations. How can it be easier, Gemini? Okay. A lot of you might just have to like start experimenting with it, or like starting to tone things down a little bit, starting to give yourself more time and leeway, starting to get things more airy and less like overbearing, less overkill. Okay, week number 2, the Hanged Man rooted down by the 10 of Swords. Okay, I'm feeling like dreams. Okay, so maybe you're having like dreams of people who were once in your life. There's kind of like an idealism, or there is a idealizing of like a breakup, or an idealizing of an ending. And you need to like maybe give it like 24 hours and move on. Okay, so this is like not very strong Gemini behavior, like this, like a sort of more Cancerian, right? Like being in the depths, or kind of being like in shadow work mode. And it is a shadow work oriented year, the year of 2023, more than like the past 4 years. Okay, not since 2018 have we had actually the shadow work signature that we have in 2023. So maybe there is something relating to a previous relationship, or a previous trauma, or breaking point that you need to heal from there. And how can you do that? Maybe making sure that it is over. Okay, making sure that there's not like any need for closure anymore. There's a video that I've been wanting to make about the power of no, and the power of like what we don't think about or what we don't engage in. And I'm going to definitely recommend that you guys watch that whenever I post it. And just like think about that. Like think about maybe all the power that you're not allowing yourself to have by still allowing certain thoughts, still allowing certain people room, still allowing being taken advantage of, still allowing people to like basically make determinations about like how you spend your time. Like when you're longing for an ex or you're longing for someone from your past, you're opening up to like allowing something that is not real to be real in your present timeline. Oh my gosh, Gemini, what a good dialogue that is. I love it. This is one of the reasons why Gemini is actually my favorite sign to read for, because it's so easy to just communicate things up at the surface and we don't just have to like feel it out. Like it like actually comes through the voice, Yeah. Okay, wow. Incredible breakthroughs happening in these readings still in 2023. I can't believe it. When you're thinking about the past, and I recommend that everybody do it. It's good to keep stock. It's good to archive your life. It's good to know where you're coming from. But it's also good to move on, and it's good to get it in the journal and to close the journal too. And I feel like that's where you need to be in the second week, because when you're allowing the past, you are sacrificing a lot of the future, okay? And there are like phases within our bigger quantum formula or our bigger life, okay? There are phases where we have to do that. But try to put deadlines around it and try to like make parameters about this, because you don't want to like sacrifice too much of your future, okay? Week number 3, the 10 of Wands rooted down by the World. Finish it. Finish this overproduction, overkill, over speaking, overdoing, overspending, okay? Over consuming. It's like a vampire, like sucking the blood dry of the situation. Try to get more lighthearted and just step away. Like you would already be having really good luck with that. And I think a lot of Geminis have already been stepping away and have already been moving on from previous addictive cycles without anyone else lighting the fire underneath them. So that's the other thing about that third week energy, 10 of Wands in the World. Nobody else is going to light the fire under you to change this or to make this ending. This is something that there's so many things in life, but like business owners, if you like own your own company or if you own your own business, you know what this is like. Nobody's going to make you do it right. Nobody's going to make you put good systems in. Nobody's going to make you do it. Nobody's going to care if you're struggling with it or not either. So definitely I'm seeing a lot of people have to ask themselves, is like entrepreneurism right for me or not? One way or another, whether this is something that's coming through like business in your life or whether this is coming through like relationships, nobody's going to do it. Okay. And that's one of the most important things in the year of 2023. Okay. Is coming out of these ideologies that someone else is going to come in and do it for us. They're not going to. Okay. And it's disheartening for some people. It's like not as idealistic or as romantic as we might like to hear. But the real romance or the real story is coming once we get into a self-empowered enough place to make the endings that we need to make in our own lives. And I just feel like you have to like maybe get a little bit more like phoenix fire going inside to like actually understand this and to actually start to get a stronger foundation going. Something ends in the third week, Gemini, and please let it be that 10 of Wands story. Week 4, the 5 of Pentacles rooted down by the Queen of Pentacles. I like it. It's one of the rare times where I like 5 of Pentacles, because it's saying to me that maybe you're no longer finding abundance where it's actually not healthy. So for an example, an abundance of caffeine, an abundance of drugs, an abundance of vampiric people in your life, an abundance of money that just leads you to like get a bunch of plastic surgery that causes your body to shut down or something. Like, okay, so we have to like start understanding this concept of shadow abundance. That's another thing that I need to make a video about. And then also like decision making in correlation to shadow abundance. Like the universe is not going to give you all that money if you're just going to spend it on things that create destruction in your life. Okay. So in this case, I like the Five of Pentacles. I'm not saying that you guys are going to make less money. Maybe you are. I'm seeing a lot of people, you guys, in 2023. This is a very passionate reading, I know. I'm seeing, I don't even have anything in Gemini, but I have a lot in Sagittarius, so I have a lot on this axis. So I get it. I'm seeing a lot of Sages as well, but Geminis and Sagittarians living such a better experience with just like a little bit less, okay? But it's so scary feeling. It's so like, oh my gosh, my like PTSD or my terrible feelings about like poverty or my lack of trust in the universe and rather my trust in the dollar. Okay, oh my God, imagine. You see, we have to break down these silly frameworks that we have, like this, all the social conditioning around, like, I need the money, I need the money, I need the paper, give me the paper. The paper is more important than like my beating heart. Okay, we've got to get out of that. And that's where Queen of Pentacles is a really great energy for you guys to ground down into, where it's kind of like, okay, I actually, whoa, you mean like things grow out of the ground? Like, wow, like food grows out of the ground. Food isn't like created by like waving $74 million bills around into some kind of like national corporation or something. Wow, you mean it comes out of the ground? Oh my God. It's a late night reading, Gemini. Okay. Yeah. There is so much that you can like grow through by kind of like understanding the way that the earth works and the way that the body works. That is so much more valuable than any money construct right now. So don't fear any reduction, and also don't fear cutting a little bit back on like if you're overworking or doing overkill for all that paper currency, okay? Don't fear cutting it back a little bit and getting more of what matters in life. And on that note, Geminis, let's talk about that in your extended reading. In the extended on Patreon below, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting into your season at the end of the month. And maybe we'll calm it down a little bit and get more zen. And we've been a little fire and brimstone here in this reading today. But hit the like button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed it. And the extended is on Patreon below and in the center of your screen now. Have a great month, Geminis. Bye.